I hate playing against the same team, bro.
Jake Elliott to kick off for
Mike Tirico along with Greg Olson. That is Jake Elliott getting this one started. Off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
Great, set.
First carry for Saquon Barkley. And that play gets nothing. So no gain on the game's first snap.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing is Hurts. He's got the 2021 Heisman winner. That's Devontae Smith. And he'll get about 8 yards as he's ushered out of bounds. It'll set up 3rd down.
3rd and 1.
He'll try to run here with Barkley. And he's going to be brought down behind the line. This defense fired up to start the game. It's 4th down.
A loss of a yard.
So it's a pretty manageable 3rd down, so they really have the option to run or pass, so they decide to keep the ball on the ground, which I don't mind as long as you've made the decision already that you're willing to use 4th down to pick up the rest of the yards. If not, I think that's a big mistake.
They're indeed going. It's Hurts. That's taken in. And he's going to have the Eagles 1st down. Going to have it by plenty. Huge gainer on 4th down.
They've done a nice job spreading the ball around. Make the defense have to account for as many different weapons as possible here early. I think back to our conversation with this coaching staff, Mike. They identified this guy as someone they needed to get involved early and often, so that might be his first target. I don't think it's going to be his last.
And he'll get about 5.
He's tackled at the 34-yard line.
From the 34, here's 2nd and 4. Hurts now. Taking a shot downfield for Smith.
So anytime a team suffers an early setback like that interception, human instinct says, Mike, we need to get away from our game plan. We need to adjust. I don't think that's the case. There's a lot of game left, a lot of chances to avenge that play and still connect downfield on some of these passes. All proven, though, Mike, they've got to identify it.
Saquon Barkley accelerating toward midfield. Inside the 20. And he will dive into the end zone. 95 yards. Touchdown, Philadelphia. From the shotgun, it's Hurts. And he will take it in and tack on the 2 points to make it 8-0.
Mike, I think all of us can remember exactly where we were during a certain Super Bowl where throwing the ball this close to the goal line ended up being a disaster. But unlike that time, they ran this pass play to perfection, and the result, 2 points.
On the return, it's Tank Bigsby. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. He'll get this complete. That's A.J. Brown. And they bring him down, but not until he gets the 45-yard line.
That's good for an Eagles first down.
A 1st down throw for Hurts. Caught by Saquon. And he'll be marked down at the 45-yard line. Here's 1st and 10.
Eagles first down. First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
They run out of the gun with Barkley. And this time they are ready for him. Thrown for a loss. And it's 2nd down.
A loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11. At the 46.
Here's Hurts. He'll get that out to Barkley. And he's going to be brought down. And with that tackle, we hit the end of the first quarter of play. Eagles in possession to start the second quarter as they begin with 3rd and 8. Here's Hurts, exiting the pocket right. And that one's incomplete. They really ratcheted up the coverage there, and they force 4th down.
I think as the offense comes to the sideline now, the quarterback and his wide receivers need to get together and say, hey, guys, what are you seeing out there? How can we find some open targets? Because on that last down, there was nowhere to go with the ball.
They'll throw on 4th down with Hurts. Open man left side. He's got it. And he's going to have an Eagles first down. They find a way to keep the drive going with the 4th down conversion.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
From out of the gun, they give it to Barkley. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line. Give him 15 more on that one. They are on the move. It's a first down.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
He'll stay on the ground with Barkley. And he's going to be taken down. Not so easy this time. They drop him back behind the line. It's 2nd down.
Back at the 21-yard line.
Hurts moving outside the pocket. He'll get rid of it and complete it. And a nice game there. He's out of bounds, and that will bring up 3rd down.
These are the play calls, Mike, that offensive coordinators use to just get their quarterback and their passing game into some sort of rhythm. Easy pitch and catch, get the ball out of his hand, see a completion. These typically, as the game goes on, lead to bigger and bigger gains.
On 3rd down, it's Hurts. That is incomplete. Great work to get in there, make things difficult defensively, and it sets up 4th down.
In a 4th down.
To throw, Hurts. They're called in at the 2. And they continue to churn out first downs. What a drive. It continues now with 1st and goal.
Eagles, 1st down. 1st and goal.
Let's go. Trimmer. Delta.
Saquon. And this time they are ready for it. Thrown for a loss. And it's 2nd down.
In these goal-to-go situations backed up on your own goal line, Mike, what they teach the defense is it's your job to establish a new line of scrimmage, and that's exactly what they did here. Watch the push they get. The offensive line goes backwards, and they take the ball carrier down for a loss.
Oh, a nice open field tackle there. He could not get free. They're going to stop him for no gain. So the Eagles will use their first time out here. They get the stoppage with just over 50 seconds to play in this first half.
Go Silver.
3rd and goal for Hurts. Moving to his right. Good blocking, and he's pinned.
And this is what good offenses in the NFL do, Mike. It's the ability to bounce back. Even if the onset of the game doesn't go exactly according to plan, everybody wants to take their opening possession and go down there and come away with a touchdown. But it's not always going to be perfect. You turn it over on possession 1. What are you going to do in response on possession 2? Well, we just got our answer, and they took it down for 6.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Still a little time. Final minute of this first half. We'll see if they can do anything with this kickoff that is coming their way. Here comes Will Shipley on the return. He's across the 20 to the 21. That's where the drive will begin. It's a 3 tight end look as they have it 1st and 10. They'll move the pocket here with Hurts. That's one incomplete. The defender right there to make the play. And it's 2nd down.
Makes it 2nd and 10 at the 21-yard line.
To throw is Hurts. That one incomplete. Good job. Pittsburgh there separated the man from the ball, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
It's 3rd down and 10 yards.
A shotgun snap now to Hurts. Quick slant into the hands of Smith. And he's going to be taken down inside the 40-yard line. Here's a timeout for Philadelphia. That is their 2nd. Clock says 25 seconds till halftime. From the 39, here's a 1st and 10. Hurts will try it again. That is incomplete. No way to force a football in there. Good coverage. It'll bring up 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Again, Hurts. Forced to his right. He bought as much time as he could, but he will finally be taken down.
This is where the playmaking ability almost can be a detriment to a running quarterback. They have such confidence in their ability to keep plays alive with their legs. Sometimes they hold it just a little bit too long, thinking they can make the next big play. And
a huge mistake late in the half. It is intercepted. And he'll be taken down, but that is a good return. They'll set up shop at the 30-yard line.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Hurts to the air on 1st down. The pressure gets there, and down he goes back inside the 20-yard line. Now whistles. Timeout. 3 seconds left in this 1st half. Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. To throw is Hurts. And that is incomplete. One final chance does not work out. Time has expired. The 1st half has come to an end. Could not ask for more from that 1st half. All even as we begin quarter number 3. Here is Shipley on the return. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. We'll go 3 tight ends here on 1st and 10. Off the bootleg, it's Hurts. Escaping the danger, throwing and completing. And he'll be brought down, but not before they get this all the way up near midfield. Just his 1st catch. They have held him in check so far, but that one gives him a 1st down. Hurts working in the pistol. Brought in by the tight end Dallas Goddard. And they'll take this down inside the 35. First time they've looked his way all game long. He comes through with the grab and a 1st down.
1st down, Eagles.
On the handoff, this is Barkley. Not much happening there, just a short gain. From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8.
Once again, it's Barkley. And they will take him down at the 20-yard line. It's a pickup of 12. 1st down, Philadelphia.
That's another Eagles 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Now a give to Barkley, running right. And the Eagles are going to be set up 1st and goal. Nice run, getting them down to the 6.
4 yards. And an Eagles first down. First and goal, Philadelphia.
Here's Barkley. And a good run there. Going to get him 5 yards.
The ball carrier. Brought down just shy of the goal line.
Second and goal.
6-yard pickup. Brings up second and goal.
They'll try to sneak it here. And he will drive his way into the end zone.
It just feels like a big drive, doesn't it, Mike? Here in the second half, you got a tie ball game. Now you're able to get out in front. Let's see how this other team responds, having to play from behind.
We got a ton of time, Greg, but a little momentum feel. Come out of the locker room, take the lead. Now it's up to the other team to climb uphill. So great way, perfect way to get this second half started.
I don't mind the play call, but something you have to keep in mind, Mike, is when you decide to pass this close to the goal line, all of the space is the width of the field. There's not a lot of depth to the field. So that's why the timing, the anticipation, the accuracy of the quarterback, it all has to be on point. It wasn't on that last play, and that's why it ultimately failed.
Tiger Swamp, Tiger Swamp. Great.
He'll start on the ground with Barkley. Can he get away? No! He's going to be taken down behind the line.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on first down, but that's exactly the case here.
And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
The truth is, Mike, they just aren't getting the push they need up front. This defense has been a motivated group these last couple plays, and now for the second straight time, they failed to even get back to the original line of scrimmage.
So, 3 quarters now in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They need one right now. 3rd and long. On the bootleg, he'll look to throw.
Come on.
Downfield, incomplete. He made sure not to let the receiver get behind him. 3rd down stop sets up 4th down.
I think he predetermined that 3rd down throw, and even though the coverage was tight, he still tried to fit the ball in there anyway, and it ended up falling incomplete. I think if he goes through his progressions and has a little bit more trust in his protection, I think there's an easier throw to make out there.
Taken in by Dotson. And he's going to have the Eagles first down. They convert in style there. Big play on 4th and long.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
They'll run the counter with Barkley. And the woes in the running game continue. They're going to subtract yards there. A loss on the play.
And they've really done a nice job defensively holding them in check. I mean, ideally, you'd want your back to average around 4 yards a pop, but they're falling short of that threshold as of now, and partially it's why they find themselves trailing at this stage in the game.
And he's going to be forced out of bounds. Still plenty of work to do. 3rd and long coming up.
Well, this has been the story of the entire game, Mike, is just how well this defense has played, particularly against the run. There has been nowhere to operate for this offense, and it continued here on this last play.
Time now becoming a factor as we get to 3rd down. Hurts to throw. And that is incomplete.
I'd say one of the most critical elements of a dynamic offense, Mike, is how efficient are you on 3rd down? It's something these teams stress all week. Here's an opportunity to continue to extend this drive. The defense wins this time and brings up 4th down.
Hey, let's go. Trimmer. 63. 60.
Now or never, they'll throw on 4th down. And that's going to be incomplete. They had to take that chance, trailing here in the 4th. But they will turn it over on down.
63.
Here's Barkley. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And that's it.
There's very few defenses in today's NFL, Mike, that you can play the cornerback position and be unwilling to tackle. Those days are kind of over, so give credit to this guy. I mean, he identified run.
Saquon